Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning, everyone. Please don't tell my orthopedic surgeon I'm here today. I'm just a few days out of a major knee surgery, but nothing could keep me from being here with Mike Thompson and Speaker Pelosi and all of you to celebrate some historic investments that we have secured for our infrastructure, our resilience, and for communities like this and many others around the state and around the country. The bipartisan infrastructure law has very, very important provisions for fire resiliency and wildfire prevention. As you heard from Mike Thompson and Speaker Pelosi, this Infrastructure and Investment and Jobs Act makes historic investments in mitigating wildfires, in forest health, in rehabilitation to the tune of $7.5 billion. That is a big number, and it's kind of hard to get our heads around a number that big. But what that translates to for fire victims, for first responders, is really huge, and it bears repeating. This law increases salaries for firefighters. It provides money for hazardous fuel breaks and prescribed burns. It adds dollars for developing community wildfire defense plans. It includes funds to increase early detection systems to assist also homeowners in fireproofing, energy efficiency, and it contains some concrete ways, as Mike Thompson alluded to prevent fires from starting from power lines. So the unfinished piece of this really important agenda is the Build Back Better Act, which we are pushing to get passed in the Senate and to get to President Biden's desk so that it too can become law. It's going to be a huge addition to this infrastructure bill. It has nearly $30 billion more dollars for wildfire mitigation and suppression, $3 billion for forest protection, including protection of water sources and old growth forests, $1 billion for collaborative forest landscape restoration, and so much more. And while I don't mean to throw any shade on the United States Senate, it is important to note that the work of the House on both of these packages is done. And that's not an easy thing. We also have very thin margins, a narrow majority, but we are so fortunate to have the leadership of Speaker Nancy Pelosi to get legislation like this over the finish line. She is truly incredible, and we owe her a debt of gratitude for the smart and legislative help. Now, for those of you who lost homes and loved ones in the historic fires of 2017, obviously those events are seared in our minds forever. There are no words to do justice to what it was like to experience those fires firsthand. Of course, Mike and I and just about all of you were right here. As the flames were still burning, we will never forget that. It was the first time we'd experienced a fire of this scale, a fire that jumped highways and jurisdictional lines and just ripped through parts of Sonoma County in almost the snap of a finger, as Mike Thompson described. And unfortunately, this area has had more fires just about every year since then. But it was during this 2017 unprecedented fire battle that I came to meet our next speaker, Shauna Jones. It wasn't here in Sonoma County. That fire that began in Napa also made its way up to Mendocino County in another part of my district. And that was in Redwood Valley in Mendocino, where I met Shauna Jones during the 2017 fires. It took lives and many homes there too. That fire, as I mentioned, swept through multiple counties, and at the time we hoped that it would never happen again, but I think we also kind of knew that it could, and it would. This crisis we're talking about is not coming, it's not something in the future, it's here and now. And as much as I like and admire Shauna, frankly, I've seen her way too many times since 2017. The truth is, we can improve our infrastructure, we can improve our vegetation management, our preparedness, and these things can help us prevent the kind of catastrophic damage we lived through in 2017. But the conditions that make us vulnerable to these catastrophic fires are going to continue to be with us, and that's why we are so fortunate to have dedicated public partners like Shauna and the rest of the first responders who time and again have risen to the occasion to protect life and property. So it is now my great honor and privilege to pass the mic to our very wonderful CAL FIRE Chief of Sonoma, Lake, and Napa County, Shauna Jones.